Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, I'm Drew.
I'm Kimmy!
And I'm Jacob, and we have the three most important things that happened over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yep. Hey guys, Andrew here with 3 things you need to know. Let's start at 1. Jobs. So last week it was announced that 227,000 jobs were added to the economy. That figures out to only a 4.8% unemployment rate. From 1948 until now, the U.S. average has been about 5.8, so we're looking good. Let's hope that translates to more jobs for high school graduates in June, right? I wonder if Arby's is still hiring.
Hey guys, it's Cami with number 2. Romania. This is really interesting. It recently passed a law that makes corruption legal. Yes, legal. Basically, the lawmakers wanted to decriminalize abuse of power offenses as long as the money, aka bribes, amounted to less than $48,000. Citizens are not happy. 250,000 people took to the streets last Wednesday evening to protest the new law.
Hey guys, it's Jacob with number 3. On Thursday, President Trump had brunch with religious leaders during this yearly event called the National Prayer Breakfast. He mentioned something about wanting to totally destroy the Johnson Amendment, which is a rule that bans organizations like churches and charities from being part of political campaigns. Supporters of Trump's idea feel that the Johnson Amendment violates their free speech rights. Critics are worried about something you might have heard of before: separation of church and state.
Ever hear of SRL? It's really Writing One News SRL. We produce multimedia news for BRFHS and beyond through GM97 and our PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs program. Writing One News SRL is student-run, so students have the control to focus on the issues you think are most important. Our partnerships with Wisconsin Public Television and PBS NewsHour give our staffers the opportunity for a national audience, mentorship from media professionals, and a feeling you're doing work that matters. Our connections have opened doors. Alumni have participated in nationally recognized camps, been selected for all-expense-paid academies in Washington, D.C., and earned media internships with their hard work here in high school. Are you ready for opportunity? Sign up for Writing One News SRL.
Good morning, Tigers.
I'm Sydney, she's Kate, and this is GM97.
We've got some birthdays in the house today.
We sure do. Happy birthday to Sarah D. Ford, Jacob Markhart, and Michael O'Neill.
Next up, some announcements.
But first, did you check your attendance today? Because I know I didn't.
Make sure you do that.
As you have been hearing, February is Black History Month. Here's something to think about today.
Over the period of the Atlantic slave trade, from approximately 1526 to 1867, some 12.5 million slaves had been shipped from Africa and 10.7 million had arrived in the Americas.
The Atlantic slave trade has been likely known as the most costly in human life in all long-distance global migrations. The majority of enslaved Africans were brought to British North America between 1720 and 1780. The decade 1821 to 1830 still saw over 82,000 people a year leaving enslaved ships.
While over 1 million more, 1/10 of the volume carried off in the slave trade era, followed within the next 20 years. The Middle Passage was dangerous and miserable for African slaves. The sexes were separated, kept naked, packed close together, and the men were chained for long periods of time.
About 12% of those who embarked did not survive the voyage. Slavery left a dark legacy for our nation, and we should never minimize the impact it had on people, both white and black. As you know, from our history, we eventually fought a war over slavery that resulted in the deaths of 620,000 people.
That war ended 152 years ago, but we still carry scars from it in 2017.
Hey, student senators, are you listening?
The Student Senate will be in session on Wednesday during Focus this week.
Senators, Rickon or Young Thunder need to know if you are not going to be able to make it. We will be taking a yearbook picture that day.
Even though second semester just started, it's already time to start planning for next year.
You'll be completing and starting course registrations today.
When you make those important course choices, make sure to think about what will prepare you for your future. While friends can be a good source of information, they don't always have the same perspective about courses as you will.
Talk to the teachers who have taught the courses you're thinking about. They're a great resource for information. Your advisors can help out too.
Sometimes in life, there's things that you just need to know.
Like writing one yearbook. Did you know that you can take it for more than 1 year? Since it's what's called a production class, basically you work on a new yearbook with new stories and photos every year. You can take it as often as you want.
Writing one news SRL is the same thing, since you keep working on different projects every year. You can take it for multiple years. In fact, it's recommended.
And here's a tip. If you're a fan of traveling, both include some pretty decent trips. Last year, some participating students traveled to Los Angeles. Next year, students will be going to San Francisco.
SRL, otherwise known as Student Reporting Lab, is going to Isle Royale National Park to cover a story this year and will probably have a few things going on next year too.
So, get an on fun going on in yearbook and SRL. Sign up for them.
Aside from 8th grade parent night, there are no events happening tonight.
Hey Kate, do you happen to know what's for lunch today?
I do, Sydney. Meatballs and gravy are on the menu for lunch today.
Oh. Before we go, we've got just one more thing for you guys.
Last Thursday, the girls' hockey team beat the Hilltoppers. Sydney talked to Allie Zilmer after the game.
I sure did. Roll the tape.
This is Sydney from Black River Falls High School, and we are talking to girls varsity hockey player Allie Zomer. And Allie, what makes the Onalaska Hilltoppers one of your guys' biggest rivals?
The fact that we've played them for many years, and they've always been a really tough competitor, and we haven't beat them until this year, so it's a big deal.
And what were some positives you saw from yourself and your teammates out on the ice tonight?
We worked the puck really well, and we trapped in the zone. We did our floor check really well, and we were back checking really well, and it all just put together a win for tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. This is Sydney with WKTY Sports.
Well, Tigers, that's all we've got for you today.
Have happy Monday and have a wonderful week.
Adios,
Bye.
Tigres.
Hi, I'm Paul Rickon, and I teach in the Social Studies and History Department. And we have a number of electives in our department. I'm going to talk about the ones that I teach today because I know you're getting into scheduling right now. So I teach a course called Law and Society. That's open to 9th through 12th graders. It's a semester course. We study constitutional and criminal law. It's a good course if you are thinking about any type of legal-related career. I think it's probably one step up from the difficulty level of U.S. and global politics. I would think it's good for students that are going on to tech school or college. I also teach a course called AP U.S. History. That course is part of our AP program here. It is a college prep class that we try to get you prepped up for a national exam in May. That one is definitely one that you want to take if you're thinking about going to college. We do a lot of work in there on reading and writing skills in particular. It's not extremely difficult, but it is challenging, and I don't think anybody that's taken it would tell you that. So that is open to grades 10 through 12. Finally, we have another course that I teach called Ho-Chunk and Ethnic Studies. That is open to 11th and 12th graders. That's a one semester class that is a dual credit class with UW Green Bay. That means that if you complete the course successfully, you get 3 college credits. You have to pay some for that, although it's quite a bit reduced from what you would pay on a college campus. in there, and it's open to all students. We do study Ho-Chunk history in there, but every student in the course, regardless of their background, studies their own ethnicity. We have some projects we do in that regard. We talk a lot in there about race and ethnicity. We talk a lot about our local community. We do a lot of history of the Black River area, and I think it's kind of a fun course in that regard. So I'd encourage all of you to take a good look at these. I do teach U.S. and Global Politics. That's a required course, so everyone is in that, but these are the 3 electives that I have. Thanks.